Hey guys, Niffler here and welcome to my weekly build guide featuring today the Windripper Inquisitor. Windripper was once the tier 1 elemental bow everyone used back in the Tornadoshot meta, but ever since the nerfs he has been replaced, first by Voltaxic Rift during the Chaos meta, then Reach of the Council and so on. But with the buffs to the increased critical strikes gem, adding plus 2% base crit and the introduction of the Ascendancy subclasses, Windripper is definitely viable again. And with its 1 chaos price, this week's build is definitely low budget friendly. Our class choice is no big surprise, as every single elemental crit build featured on this channel is an Inquisitor, and that's for good reason. Inevitable Judgement is still the best Ascendancy keynode for any crit based elemental build. Being able to just ignore elemental resistances is too damn strong. But without further talking, let's get right into the gem setup. Our main skill is Tornadoshot, linked with GMP, weapon elemental damage, increased critical strikes, faster attacks and blood magic. Tornadoshot provides both good AoE and solo target DPS with its shotgunning secondary arrows, and blood magic allows us to ignore mana and simply reserve 100% of it for auras that provide the DPS for this build. The auras we're running are Wrath, Anger and Herald of Thunder, linked with Curse on Hit Assassin's Mark for the power charge generation. For movement, we use Blink Arrow, faster attacks, blood magic, and for the last socket, you can add Mirror Arrow for utility on boss fights. The remaining sockets are used for a custom image taken setup with standard Immortal Call increased duration. Add an Ice Golem if you like, or Molten Shell, Arctic Breath, etc. In the passive tree, we start as a Templar only for our Ascendancy nodes, so without grabbing anything besides life, we immediately travel towards the Ranger Duelist area. Here we pick up Vitality Void to leech from our pure elemental damage and fill out the standard life nodes. We continue with the bow crit clusters, King of the Hill, Lethality and Heartseeker. The knockback on crit from King of the Hill adds some bonus defense by keeping the monsters at distance. For reflect safety we grab Volpact, and acrobatics with phase acrobatics are the last two keynodes, providing 40% chance to dodge attacks and 30% chance to dodge spells. As we're an evasion based character, we want to add the secondary layer of damage avoidance, which is further increased by our gear choices. Charisma is needed for running 125% mana reservation, and we finish at the shadow area with assassination. Our Ascendancy nodes are most important: Inevitable Judgement, as already mentioned, critical strikes ignore enemy elemental resistances. After the Cruel Lab, you're basically ready to go, as the other Ascendancy nodes are not as essential, providing only minor DPS boosts. We skill Instruments of Virtue for 20% attack speed and Augury of Penitence for increased elemental damage. For bandits, we help Oak in normal for plus 40 life, Kraken in Cruel for plus 8 attack speed and Alira Merciless for an additional power charge. Gear-wise, we got two core uniques. First of all, the Windripper unique Imperial Bow of course. The high crit chance and attack speed, together with decent flat lightning and cold damage, result in a great combination for our elemental based build. The most important stats are the crit chance and attack speed roll, so ignore the flat rolls if you have to choose. Currently, this bow can be picked up for only 1 Chaos in Essence League, so it's really budget friendly and you got the chance to try and corrupt Windrippers for an additional arrow or plus 1 power charge. The second core unique, required for running Wrath, Anger and Herald of Thunder all together, is Alpha's Howl. In addition to the needed mana reservation, this unique helm grants immunity to freeze and bonus DPS with plus 2 aura level for Wrath and Anger that therefore should be placed in the helm sockets. And again, it can be picked up for just 1 Chaos in Essence League, so with 2 Chaos you're done with your core items. Other optional uniques are Huri's Ire Zodiac Leather, increasing the dodge chance for spells and attacks by 10% each, while providing 2000 evasion and even adding a little flat elemental damage. For leveling, I would really recommend a Tabula Rasa though, because a 6-link is very beneficial to the build and Huri's Ire is not really mandatory. Personally, I've been doing red maps with my Tabula, as for 10 chaos budget you replace an expensive 6-link evasion chest. For gloves, Maligaros offer a nice DPS boost, but if you're struggling with resists and life, just replace them with a rare evasion glove. Attack speed and accuracy would be ideal stats on those. The best in slot jewelry are diamond rings with accuracy, weapon elemental damage, together with life and resistances. A leather belt, again with wed, life and resistances. And on our amulet, we want to have crit strike multiplier as the most important stat, and from there any combination of wet, accuracy, crit chance, flat elemental damage, life, resistances, or even stats, as intelligence will be lacking. A rare spike point arrow quiver provides additional implicit crit chance and can be used to further boost our DPS, again with wet, crit multi, accuracy, attack speed and flat damage rolls. A life roll would be really nice though, and I often find myself searching for a quiver with the one resist I'm still lacking. Last but not least, we can use standard 30% movement speed evasion boots with the life and resistances, or the unique Atziri steps for up to 16% additional spell dodge. As our passive tree is lacking intelligence, required for running a high level Wrath and Herald of Thunder, I use one unique Fertile Mind jewel, converting some dexterity into the required int. Another unique jewel option is Static Electricity, adding flat 1 to 2 lightning damage per dexterity in radius. And for the rest of the jewel slots, I'd go for rare ones with life, attack speed with the bows and crit multiplier. My flask setup contains the standard Panic Life pots with instant recovery and the removal of bleed, poison and curses. A Jade, Quartz and Stibnite flask add a dodge chance, evasion and a smoke cloud bonus, making it almost impossible to get hit. As always, for a link to all my current gear and the passive tree, check out my guide compendium in the description below. To come to a conclusion, the Windripper Inquisitor is a very budget-friendly build and very good for players who don't have the time to grind 24/7 and afford a 30x sold gear. With 5k life, high evasion, dodge and the knockback, the character is viable even in high tier maps, but requires the ranged playstyle. You cannot simply face tank in tier 12 plus maps, you rely on good positioning with the mirror and blink arrow. Can you kill Shaper with this build? It can be pulled off, but there are definitely better builds for that. Boss fights in general are not a weakness of this build though, with all your flasks popped, sitting on 30k evasion, 60% dodge and reduced enemy accuracy, you won't get hit. And when you are aiming for a little behind the boss, you can shotgun with the secondary arrows for 6 times your tooltip DPS. That's it from my side for today, stay safe and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up and for more Path of Exile content, feel free to subscribe to my channel where you will find weekly build guides and trading tips. I hope you guys enjoyed and hope to see you next time.